Hello guys, I'm Rakesh and today I'm going to show you how to use data manager with an easiest way. So this is the Firebase which I showed you before. In before tutorial I was showed you how to use authentication with this Firebase. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to push and retrieve data in this database. So here this is the database of Firebase. Here you can see this is the old data which is already came from login. So when user I have in previous tutorial I will show you when user has sign up that all data will store in database. So here I'm going to log in that same account which I have showed you before. If you guys didn't see that tutorial, then please must go first that tutorial. So here you can see this is the username which is stored here. So this username is come from our database. So this is retrieving from Firebase, and this and also there are many data which is come from Firebase. So this is whole data which is came from there. So here you can see this education detail, background detail, and this all same which is stored in here here in Firebase Data Manager. So which is awesome tool, which is awesome application from Google which has function for data management. So now we will show how push data and how retrieve data from the data manager. Okay, so here you can see this is our sign up form which I've showed you before, how sign up form is work and all, how authentication is work and all. So you can check that authentication part from there only. So this is the ID of sign up button. I'm going to search that ID. So this is the this is the function of that sign up button. So this is a function, this is the whole variable which is going to store on, which is going to catch that values of inputs, and this is the function of authentication. After the authentication, this user will verify, and that ID will store in this user ID variable. Okay, after this user ID variable, this Firebase, this is a query for an push or for an store data into your database manager. Okay. Yeah, this is the user which have currently logged in, and this query you can see this is the directory of your database. So this is the predefined directory, and this user ID will be changed at every user account. So and this is the whole nodes for store data into database. So this you can see this is in one node there are two things, one is attribute and another is attributes value. So this is a whole nodes which will gonna store in this same format on your database manager. So you can use this same thing in your data management. Okay, so this same thing which will store in this database manager. Now we will look on that retrieving part, how this storing data will retrieve in that profile page. Okay, so this is the whole thing for storing data into browser and all after authentication is done. Okay, so if you don't know how to authenticate your page, then you can watch my previous tutorial for this Firebase. In the tutorial you will gonna learn how to authenticate within Firebase. Okay, now we are going to move within a profile page which is stored on where it is stored in that profile page. You can retrieve the data from that Firebase. Okay, and use JS file of Fire profile, make it open in so this is the profile page where we have to retrieve our profile information from our database. Okay, so here we have, you can see here we have that division where we have to retrieve our data. Here this is the whole dummy text, which is default text in that browser. Okay, so this is the whole that ID. Here you can see in this ID we are going to retrieve our profile name. I'm going to find with that same profile ID, and this you can see here this is the profile ID. In this function for an retrieve data from our data manager. This is a query which is used for that data manager. Okay, so this is the user ID which I have shown you before, how I was get that user ID, and this is a query for an retrieve data from our database. So after that, this is a user district for store that snapshot value in array format, and then whole nodes and whole attributes will retrieve one by one, so which is going to possible within a for loop. So here I'm just retrieve within variable which I within variable. In that variable I'm going to use that attribute or that node value which I've already mentioned in our database manager. So there is isn't required for an use that same value of attribute. So here you can see this is the username, which is this is a profession which is going to store in status email. This is the email ID which is going to store in email variable. This is the number ID, number node, and which has value which will be stored in contact number variable. This is the education node, so that value will be stored on education variable. And this is the background detail, so that detail will be stored in background variable. This is an accomplishment value, and that will be stored on accomplishment variable. So this is the whole data will store in that whole variable, and this whole will show in our page like this. So this is the code main query which is used for and retrieve data from the data manager. So you can use this same code for in your application for retrieving data from data manager. And you this is the one thing you have to make clear, that this two rule has to true. And if you don't know how to integrate this Firebase application, so you can watch my previous tutorial on this Firebase authentication. So in that tutorial I was showed how to use that Firebase. Still you have any query and question, you can comment down at below. Thanks for watching. Please like, share to others, and subscribe this channel for